Honorable Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our presence here has two objectives. One, to represent Ethiopia in Benelux countries bilaterally, and to the EU institutions multilaterally. Ethiopia has a long-standing and a strong partnership with the Benelux countries and the EU, which has evolved from donor-recipient relations to an all-round cooperation over the years. The foundation for our partnership with the EU is the Cotonou Partnership Agreement. This agreement is due to expire in 2020. Both sides are not only reflecting on the past, but also looking into the future beyond 2020. The embassy also represents Ethiopia and the Benelux and the Baltic countries. Our bilateral relationship with the three countries of Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg is also witnessing positive trend, especially in the area of trade, investment, tourism, and development cooperation in higher education. Given the rapidly growing participation of the Dutch private sector in trade and investment in Ethiopia and the size of our diaspora in the country, we strongly recommend that it is time to reopen the Consulate General office in The Hague and maintain political representation from the. Surely, this facility is situated on one of the main avenues of Brussels, very close to European institutions, at a walking distance from the ACP Secretariat, and not far from the institutions of our host country, is strategically located and suitable for our daily engagement with our partners and interlocutors. It is also easily accessible to our clients so that members of the diaspora, business community, tourists and other visitors of Ethiopia could access the services rendered by the embassy without any difficulty. With this new facility, Your Excellency, we will be able to comfortably organize receptions, business forums, diaspora meetings, cultural shows, and exhibit our export items. Not to mention the savings on our rents and the positive image it will portray about Ethiopia and its culture. On behalf of my colleagues and on my own behalf, I sincerely express our deep appreciation for the understanding and commitment of the government, which in turn is a clear expression of Ethiopia's desire to pursue a long-term partnership with the EU and Germany. Can I assure you, Your Excellency, that my colleagues and I will spare no effort to make sure that the investment on this Chancery gets value for our taxpayers' money. Once again, thank you for blessing us on this occasion with your presence and with that of the First Lady. I also thank our friends, partners, and all who are here this evening with us on this opening ceremony. I thank you all for your kind attention.
Excellency, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Ambassador, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, I'm really extremely pleased to have the privilege here to be amongst you for this inauguration of the new Chancery of the Embassy of Ethiopia here in Brussels, in, of course, the distinguished presence of His Excellency the Prime Minister, Mayam. This event is quite important, as the Ambassador told us before, because it's a milestone in our very ancient relations indeed. So this inauguration shows how active our bilateral relation has become and will remain right now. And you know also that Brussels and Addis share many common points. We are also very honored by the fact that the Prime Minister took the opportunity of a visit to Brussels to include a significant Belgian program. As you, Prime Minister, met this morning with our Prime Minister, Charles Michel, and your wife had the occasion to meet Her Majesty the Queen yesterday. From both sides, this is a sign that we wish to intensify our bilateral relation and make it even more vibrant and active. Let me wish for this beautiful building a very intense activity indeed. Thank you.
Today, we are here to witness this important milestone, a great leap forward in bolstering Ethiopia's engagement with the European Union and the Benelux countries. inauguration of this Chancery building is also a testimony to the significance of diplomatic relations between the Kingdom of Belgium, the European Union, and Ethiopia. Constructed in 1913 in the Italian Renaissance style by the Belgian architect Charles, this building is registered as a historical monument since 1997 by the Brussels region. Although there were relations between the two countries as far back as 1842, even beyond, diplomatic relations between Ethiopia and the Kingdom of Belgium dates back to 1906, when the Kingdom of Belgium opened a consular office in Ethiopia. We are generous enough to give a huge bunch of land for the Belgian government. The visit of Crown Prince Haile Selassie in 1924, the advent of Belgian personnel to train the Ethiopian Guard of Honor, and most importantly, the participation of Belgian soldiers alongside the UK force to oust the occupied Italian forces from Ethiopia cements the long-standing relations between the two countries. We have been using Belgium, a rifle which has been produced in Belgium, and you will find a number of names which has been named after Belgium. So Italian occupation and fascism has been boasted, your contribution has been remarkable. We always remember the brave Belgian soldiers who sacrificed their lives to support Ethiopia in its fight against occupation and fascism. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are not gathered here simply to inaugurate any office building. Rather, we are here to celebrate and cherish the solid and growing relations between Ethiopia and the Kingdom of Belgium on one hand and the European Union on the other. The move from rented premises to this impressive and historical building bears testimony to our enduring relations with the EU and the Kingdom of Belgium. Last week, we celebrated the 40th anniversary of the relationship between Ethiopia and the EU. Despite some differences in our values, Ethiopia's partnership with the EU has been elevated to a strategic level of engagement. On Tuesday, we signed a strategic engagement document with Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker, which is a clear demonstration of the level of intensity of cooperation and partnership that we do both enjoy. And it is my firm belief that it will add a further impetus and value to the existing strong relations. We also signed in November the Common Agenda on Migration and Mobility. We are committed to do our part to implementing all the agreements signed between and amongst us. We in Ethiopia understand very well the significance of Europe and the European Union in our globalized world. Europe is the biggest market for our exports. Ethiopia is the largest beneficiary of the 11th TDF. Ethiopia and the EU are working in close cooperation with various fields, including but not limited to peace and stability, migration, climate change, and fighting global terrorism. European Union will remain our important and strategic partner in our quest to become a middle-income country by 2025 and to attain the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Both sides have realized that the private sector participation is not commensurate with the potentials of the two sides. Hence, private sector participation is an area where we could and should do more. In this regard, my government will work very closely with the EU to organize a successful Ethiopia-EU Business Forum in 2016. Probably we agreed yesterday that it should be in October. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Ethiopia is one of the fastest growing non-oil producing economies in Africa. The country has registered an impressive economic growth which averaged 10.5% for more than a decade. Millions have emerged out of abject poverty over the last decade. As a result of the relentless endeavors made by the people and government of Ethiopia, the country is now becoming a beacon of hope for countries that are suffering from humanitarian crisis and poverty. Once in our history, we were also in those crises. However, we are well aware of the enormous challenge ahead of us. Fighting poverty, creating employment opportunities for the ever-increasing graduates, consolidation of democracy and good governance, and human rights are top on our agenda. We are highly encouraged by our achievements in the past 25 years, and we will strive to achieve more in the future. Distinguished guests, I firmly believe that we are in a period that requires a very strong cooperation and consultation among all global actors. No single country, big or small, rich or poor, can handle alone the immense challenge our world is facing today. It is also high time for our ACP group of states to come up with effective roadmap which can make us strong in the face of internal and external challenges that our respective countries are going through. I would like to assure you that Ethiopia will play a constructive role in ensuring the solidarity of the ACP as a group and in shaping the ACP-EU partnership beyond 2020 when the Cotonou Agreement expires, as the ambassador said. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is the consideration of our partnership with the EU and the Benelux countries. My government gave priority to our mission in Brussels to have a facility of our own. May I take this opportunity to recognize my ambassador, Teshome Toka, for his relentless efforts to acquire this property. I understand he is also knocking our doors again to secure support for acquiring the residence. I'm sure that the real estate price will even go down. His appeal, as usual, will go through the usual government procedure. There is no shortcut. This facility, I agree with Ambassador Teshome, can provide a multi-purpose service, and I encourage you to make good use of it by organizing regional meetings, exhibitions, and cultural shows. May I also take this opportunity to encourage ambassadors from IGAD and Eastern African region to work together in promoting the collective interest of our region and our Horn of Africa. Allow me to thank the leadership of Belgian universities who have been partnering with our universities to continue cooperation in a more coordinated and effective way so that the new generation of universities will also benefit from this cooperation. As a man who served the university system, I know how the Belgian universities have supported us in the past. Let this cooperation continue in the future as well. Let us make it result-oriented. We are ready to support your efforts. To our diaspora representatives here today, I thank you for your participation and contribution to the transformation of your country, or our country of origin. And all of us have originated from the Eastern African corridor. Be part of the history in making of the Ethiopian Renaissance. The Belgian private sector is relatively new in Ethiopia, and I believe we could also do more. We invite you to take opportunities available in Ethiopia. Of course, we will engage you in details in the coming October. You will have a strong partner in our government. I encourage you all to work very closely with our embassy here and invite you also to visit Ethiopia, the land of origins, your ancestors' land, for leisure or business or both. Thank you and welcome to the new Chancery, and I now declare the new Chancery officially open for business.